Yo, I gotta get off this video right quick, bro. It is I, CharMajesti, also known as CharmAngel, better known as Sharby. Check me out at Sharby.com, baby. You know I got that mental hygiene popping for you. Whoo, it's going down. Hey, but let me stop playing because everyone on my Facebook and on my Twitter is all talking about police brutality, and this is something that I never talk about, and I've actually been a victim of myself. But with the recent case with Miss Korryn Gaines, I believe that's how you say her name, I felt like it was high time that I, break my silence and just speak my piece on what it is that I see going on, just in the general, the general climate, the general society. Everybody's, heading down this path that I really don't think they understand what they're heading down because they're not really paying attention to, mind war and PsyOps and that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. This is only my experience that I like to share. These are not facts. These are all opinions. This is only my narrative. So yeah, don't try to hold it against me because I really don't care what you guys think about it. I'm just here to share, So let me share with you guys what happened to me. Now, I used to be a Moor. Shout out to Charmangel Bay, the old me. I've since upgraded to Sharby Millsaps. Shout out to Sharby. But yeah, I was a Moor and I was studying all of the Moor sciences and the law studies because that's really what attracted me to the Moorish sect in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't necessarily the religious aspect of it. It was more so, the lawful remedy because I am, a person that would like to utilize the law to better my life. So, yeah, it was attractive, because everything that it talked about made sense to me because it introduced me to a whole nother side of the law that I was not aware of. So, I didn't know about right to travel before I became a Moor. You know what I'm saying? So once I became a Moor, I was like, oh, I don't need a driver's license. I'm done with this. I tossed my driver's license to the side, and I used one of those cool Moorish websites that I won't name to get a Moorish ID. And it was my right to travel card. You know what I'm saying? So I had a right to travel card and I had an identification card as well. And then at the time I was also talking to a Moor and, he's pretty much the one that, like pushed it upon me like, yeah, this is the type of lifestyle that we need to be living, like we need to live free and we need to live by the Constitution, because that's the real law. We don't need to listen to all these rules, from the corporation. That's all legalities. We don't need that. So I was like, yeah, I guess you're right, but this was still in my time of me trying to find my own balance and, it was still pretty extreme. So I was just bouncing from one extreme to the next. So Charmangel Bay was pretty extreme more. I don't know if you guys were following me on Facebook, but I was definitely talking down to a lot of people every day as Charmangel Bay. So please forgive her. She didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can get a really militant mindset once you, come across some new information, that resonates with you and you were not previously aware of this information. So, you might feel slighted. You might feel like, you guys hid this from me the whole time. I can't believe this. I'm going to go use it immediately. You know what I'm saying? And this was before I, just came more into myself as an alchemist where, you step back and you observe and then you actually make moves. Like I didn't really observe anything. I just jumped in head first. Like, yes, I have rights. I'm going to exercise my rights, So what ended up happening was, because I live in Texas, first off, and you see me and I live in Texas, so I had to be tripping. But what happened? We get pulled over because the Moor that I was riding with, he had expired registration. Apparently this was like the second time he had got pulled over for it. The first time I wasn't in the car, but the second time that we got pulled over for it, like he was just being really combative to the cops, and it reminded me a lot of watching Miss Korryn with the cops, how she was basically talking to them in any kind of way, telling them that they were going to have to murder her to get her car and that it was, stealing. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and read to you what her tag said. This is why she got pulled over in March, because she had a cardboard tag on her car that said something similar to what Charmangel Bay might have put on her car if she was this trill. Obviously, Korryn was a little more trill than I am, but she said, any government official who compromises the pursuit of happiness and right to travel will be held criminally responsible and fined, as this is a natural right and freedom. So I was like, oh, Billy Badass. Now out here in Texas, I would never. But, wherever she was, I guess that was, cool at the time. But then it wasn't cool, because she gets pulled over and then she gets real confrontational with the cops. Now, when I was with the Moore, he pretty much did the same thing. He was very confrontational with the cops. They came to my side of the car first because we were under the underpass, so it's easier to get to me. So I rolled down my window and, they're talking to him to try to understand why he doesn't have his registration. And he kept saying things like, do you have a warrant for me? If you don't have a warrant for my arrest, then you can't pull me over. I don't need a registration. That's just a trust, and I don't, put my property into your trust. He's saying these type of things that might have made sense maybe to a judge or, a lawyer or something, but a regular cop that's just out there trying to do his job, he's not trying to hear any of that. You know what I'm saying? So you yelling about the delegation of authority is irrelevant when you're pulled over on the side of the road with some cops who have guns. You see what I'm saying? So they went back around to his side of the car and asked him to roll down the window, and he kept saying, no, I can hear you just fine. So the cop actually ended up pepper spraying us. And the crack in the window was only maybe about this big. So the cop pretty much missed him and sprayed all of the pepper spray into my eyes. So I went berserk. Like, I jumped out the car, I fell on my hands and knees, and I just started screaming. Like, it was just a blood-curdling scream that you can hear because we were under, the highway overpass, so it just like echoed everywhere. And I really hate that video because I remember the pain of the mace going into my eyeballs and me thinking like, hey, I didn't do anything. But of course I was guilty by association, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm with, Billy Badass, the Moorish Bay El Day Ali, you know what I'm saying? Who's just so hell-bent on his rights that, he's not really worried about my safety. So I was like, oh no, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, it was that whole ordeal. Him going to jail and me not being able to use any type of Moorish remedy to get him out of jail made me realize that there was no remedy there. And that while they had a lot of good information, it simply was not applicable because it was just too extreme. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not living in the times of treaties, So you can't mix your contracts with your treaties. That's what I learned. Like, you can't mix contract law with treaty law. We all have these contracts out here that say, okay, yeah, if I'm going to drive this car, I'm going to have this licensing, ABC, XYZ. So once we sign those contracts, we have to honor them. So us trying to come back around and say, oh, wait, our ancestors say we have, this liberty and this freedom and this right. It doesn't really work like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I look at the Korryn Gaines case, first of all, I'm not going to take this whole video into the conspiracy theorist realm, even though I would love to, because I would love to say, did this really happen? You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's clear that we have a cycle going on here. It's been like the past 3 summers where, as soon as all the sports goes off, then it's like, open season for niggas. Let's kill all the niggas. You know what I'm saying? So now they out here hunting down niggas. So it started with Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying? I think that was 2 summers ago. I really don't quote me. You know what I'm saying? But I just know that whenever NBA goes off, they start killing niggas until the NFL comes on, and then everybody forgets that they was killing niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we have the same cycle going on here. But the agenda is thickening. You know what I'm saying? The plot is thickening because we're not getting, or I would say the media or, the powers that be, they're not getting their desired response, which is a bunch of violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want us to be much more violent than we are right now. So it's like they're realizing, okay, we can't just kill the black men, because they're not really going to respond to that, since they obviously don't much value the black men in their community like that anyway, but we're not going to talk about that. That's in a video. So let's go after the women and children. You know what I'm saying? Ding, light bulb. So whenever I saw this, I was like, oh, so they done killing the men because they understand that the men don't really have that, place of value in the black community. So they're going to go after the women, you know what I'm saying? And the children. Like, this is an excellent setup if you think about it, because they got 2 in 1 fell swoop. You know what I'm saying? So now you done killed the mom and you shot the son. So everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so outraged. How could you, But we never stopped to, consider her conduct that led up to this whole situation. And the only reason, that I would like to put this whole thing in the conspiracy theorist category is because they say that she had a 12-gauge pistol grip shotgun while holding her son and shooting at the cops. Like, what? Who are you? Who are you, Korryn? Like, how are you able to do that? Like, the Terminator can't even do that. I feel like that is physically impossible. I feel like if we consider physics and we really stop and think about that, we can say, now that's a little far-fetched, but let's not even go down that path. Let's just go ahead and say, in the event that this actually did happen, that we have to really consider her conduct and the things that led up to this happening, and then we have to dissect it and internalize it. So instead of us getting mad and throwing all of our emotions at the media, we should really say, hey, wait a minute, this all happened as a result of imbalance and extreme polarities, and what I'm saying, people falling for bullshit narratives that have been sold to them from very crafty salesmen via the media. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that people understand that your mental real estate is what counts here. You know what I'm saying? So everyone wants to occupy your mind and put some type of hook into your mind so that they can dictate your actions, because they don't care what it is that you do with your body as long as they have your mind. They know what you're going to do with your body. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you're watching TV and you're watching the media and you're, taking in all this foolishness, it's a mind war. It's PsyOps. It's like they want to create a very nice divide and conquer in your own mind so that you look at someone that is potentially really your brother and think that they're an enemy. You see what I'm saying? So you're looking at these cops, you're saying, oh, these cops are so bad because they're killing us off. You know what I'm saying? They're just so horrible. All cops are bad. Let's kill all the cops. Like that in and of itself is the extreme dualities that we all need to just step back from and reconsider. You know what I'm saying? Because all cops are not bad just because you have a few that act out. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we got pulled over by cops that obviously did not like black people. You know what I'm saying? It was very obvious that, okay, well, no, the first cop, he was cool. He was a Mexican, you know what I'm saying? But he was younger. You could tell he was inexperienced, and he didn't understand a lot of the things that the more that I was with was saying. So he called backup, and why did he call backup? You know what I'm saying? And backup was not playing them games. Backup looked like he had the noose in the car waiting. You know what I'm talking about? So my conduct with him was, completely and totally different. I was trying to tell the more that I was with, like, hey, roll down the window, babe. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I just knew that my life was in danger. You know what I'm saying? So I was acting accordingly. Whereas he wasn't, he was just much more emotionally driven, and he was fearful, So whenever you don't, take your emotions and, censor them and use them for your own fuel, and then you start throwing them on everything else, then you create a mess. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he created a mess that could have been avoided the more that I was with. It could have completely and totally been avoided had he, you know what I'm saying, just conducted himself accordingly. You know what I'm saying? Because when in Rome, you got to do what the Romans do. I don't care what anyone says. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the first thing that I think that we need to take from the media is that we need to stop being so reactionary. We just need to step back and observe and really look at everything from every angle and consider all possibilities. You know what I'm saying? And then consider, possibilities that haven't been sold to us. You know what I'm saying? Like step outside the general agenda or the general narrative, of black versus white or, cop versus civilian, and say, wait a minute, like who benefits from this? Who stands to benefit from a bunch of civilians being mad at cops? Because neither party really benefits if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like who really benefits from black people and white people always being mad at each other? Neither party. You know what I'm saying? The people that are standing outside that aren't playing the color games, these are the ones that are benefiting. You see what I'm saying? So it's like all of the tensions and, you know what I'm saying, all of the prejudices and, just everything that we're now experiencing as a result of the media pushing this wedge into humanity. I would say that it's unnecessary. If we had our own self-love, then it wouldn't matter who liked us. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, Asian, Korean, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't matter. Like I'm the person that I don't care about racism because I've been around it for so long. Like I grew up in North Carolina, and now I'm here in Texas. Like I understand, people have their preferences. So you can have your preference, and it really has nothing to do with me and my self-worth. You know what I'm saying? So you feelings type of way, I don't have to wear those feelings. You see what I'm saying? And I think that that's what we should really look at when it comes down to police brutality, how they're putting it in the media, this recent case with Korryn. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to pull on your heartstrings because, she was a beautiful woman and she had beautiful children. You know what I'm saying? But then you're watching a video and she's like, what are the cops doing, baby? Oh, they're trying to kill us? You know what I'm saying? Like that in and of itself, when I was watching the video, I was like, who does this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry, but this is just a little strange. You know what I'm saying? But I have a very, removed view of the media. So when I'm looking at the media, it is not tugging on my heartstrings. I'm not saying, oh, this could have been me or any of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it like, oh, what are they selling today? Because I know that there's an agenda every time I, look at anything in the media. So I don't even have a TV anywhere in here, you know what I'm saying? But I have social media. So of course, the media dictates social media. So anything that's going on TV, I'm bound to find out about it anyway on Facebook or, Twitter or something. So whenever I did see the case, I was like, oh, this is smart. You know what I'm saying? They kicking it up a notch. Yeah, start killing the women off. You know what I'm saying? Start killing off the children. Kill off more children. Make sure there's some female children. You know what I'm saying? Keep killing them off. And then, sooner or later, people are going to get mad enough to try to go pick up their guns, and then we can lead them to slaughter. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't understand this about people either, especially, well, let me not say that. But I just don't understand, like, how do we ever think that we would be prepared for anybody's war? You know what I'm saying? Because at the very minimum, we do not control communications. Having your own communications is paramount. You see how they took down her Facebook and then put it back up there when they got ready. You know what I'm saying? They can do that to each and every single one of us. We watch people get kicked off of Twitter all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, let's not act like we can communicate freely and then, we'll be able to, I guess, start up the resistance against these bad cops. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cops aren't the problem, so let's really look at what the problem truly is, and it starts with an overestimation of value. I think that we all need to really look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, what are my skills? What are my talents? What is it that I have to add? What is the world going to miss if I get killed by the police? You know what I'm saying? If I end up as a hashtag, who's going to care? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real with ourselves. And then secondly, more important, let's look at what we add to society. What type of value do we add? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we don't have any skills or any credentials or anything like that, then, how dare we add like it's just the end of the world, you know what I'm saying? Because someone gets, I guess, killed based on emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are so petty. It's ridiculous. And I just want people to really, stop and look at where they're putting their emotional energy and to repurpose it. You know what I'm saying? Bring that energy back around to you and say, hey, instead of me being mad at what's going on in the media, I am going to, go out here and learn how to chop up some wood so I can start a fire and make me a meal from scratch. I'm going to go out here and learn how to chop up some wood so I can, build me a frame so I can make my own house. You know what I'm saying? Like, just repurpose your energies and don't let the media use you like a battery. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I see all up and down my timeline, and it's like I have to work to not mock these people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you know me or if you've ever really seen me in action on social media, like, I'm crazy. And, I don't mean anything by it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still my dogs. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with everybody. I'm just, crazy. And whenever I see people, you know what I'm saying, like, out there, like, please help me. I'm so emotional. I just want to put my emotions out there, well, there are some people like myself, that just like to poke on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Slap on the emotions a little bit. Like, you got it out there. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to pay attention. You wouldn't have it out there if you didn't want the attention. Now, don't get mad if the attention is negative. You know what I'm saying? I myself happen to be a very negative individual. So, I'm working on my balance, but I don't come from the whole positive aspect of anything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not, let me think positive thoughts and let me be so positive. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, let me go ahead and be real with myself. You know what I'm saying? I can't do A, B, C, or X, Y, Z. So if they make a hashtag out of me, won't nobody miss me. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So I take that as, like motivation. If anything, we should see these type of cases in the media and say, wait a minute, like, we can do better. We can protect our own. We can, have these skills and these credentials. We can do this. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be a push to do more and not necessarily a push to just get in your feelings because, oh, woe is me. They killed someone and they put it on TV, so now I care. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people in your neighborhood are getting killed all the time, but nobody cares. You see what I'm saying? Like, I had like 3 homies get killed last year, but there was no public outcry of, oh, Marcus Glover, why did they kill you? I can't believe it. No, you know what I'm saying? And he got killed by one of his friends. You know what I'm saying? One of his friends from middle school, elementary school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we're going to be selective and say this matters more because this is in the news and this doesn't matter, then I'm not playing with you guys. You know what I'm saying? I will not participate, and don't come asking me how I feel about shit because I'm going to crack jokes and I'm going to mock you and scoff until I can't laugh anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it is. It's a joke. Everybody is like, so up in arms about something that was previously irrelevant to them, and they allowed a crafty salesman to make it relevant to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stop buying the agendas, because that's really the only way that the agendas are always being sold, is because somebody's buying it, you know? So I'm just one of the people that's not buying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put my emotions where they were not because you guys say to put my emotions there. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, while my heart does go out to, you know, each and every situation in the media, at the end of the day, I'm not going to act like I am emotionally spent or any type of thing like that, because these people have, you know, transitioned to their next life state. Like, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then I want you guys to really focus in on why it is that you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, really question yourself and say, you know, why is this making me mad? You know, why do I care? Why do I care if people like me or not? You know, I think a lot of people need to ask themselves that question, especially in regards to this whole black versus white thing. Why do you black people care if anyone likes you? Like, shut up. Why do you white people care, you know what I'm saying, if anyone likes you? I know y'all don't care, you know what I'm saying? That's why I be rolling with the white folks. I know they don't care, you know what I'm saying? But black people are always in their feelings like, oh my God, the cops and the corporations and the banks and the media and the moguls, oh my God, they're all just conspiring against us, you know what I'm saying? And it sounds really weak, you know? So I don't really participate in any of that narrative. My narrative is always going to be, okay, well, let's get some work on. Let's get some work done. What is we doing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn, they done killed my dog. Well, what is we going to do? You know what I'm saying? Because making a bunch of Facebook statuses and Twitter statuses and acting like we're gonna, you know, gather up all these monies with the GoFundMe's with all these fake social justice warriors and these fake activists, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of that is a waste of your time, and you're being siphoned for your energy. You see what I'm saying? So, not I, says the CharMajesti. You guys can have that, you know what I'm saying? And I would just like to make a public announcement that what you guys prefer does not determine my value. And that goes for everybody, every race, every occupation, everybody. I don't care, all frequencies, all, you know, all harmonics, everybody. It's irrelevant, you know what I'm saying? And your preference is irrelevant until I make it relevant. And I would love it if people would, you know what I'm saying, just take on the same mindset, you know. Now, no pressure, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? This is all my own personal opinion. This is all of my own personal perspective and what it is that I use to shape my reality. But it's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, one cop not liking black people doesn't make me hate all cops. You know what I'm saying? One white person not liking black people doesn't make me hate all white people. You know what I'm saying? I just have a little bit too much foresight for the foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want, guys. That's what I want you guys to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, polish up your eyes, polish up that third eye. You know what I'm saying? Polish up your filters and really look at how you are being used as a battery. And just stop allowing yourself to be used as a battery, and instead fuel yourself with your own emotions. Turn those emotions in, you know. So we all want to be hurt, you know, that these things keep happening in the media, but I think that instead of being hurt, we need to say, why is this happening? And we need to turn everything back inward and say, oh, you know what I'm saying, I'm reacting to these things because of ABC and XYZ, and now, you know, I'm no longer going to react to them because I realize that I waste my energy when I react to shit that is not relevant to me. You know what I'm saying? I waste my energy when I make shit relevant that was no way, shape, or form relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing that I don't understand about civilians. Like, you guys are so mad at the cops and y'all want to, you know, like, protest and let's all get mad and, you know, ABC, XYZ, but you guys don't have your own agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like, your agenda is literally controlled by the media. So whenever the media says, you know, everybody come over here to, you know, Ferguson because, you know, we over here killing niggas, everybody goes to Ferguson and they, you know, spend up all their money because that's what the media told them to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like you're not ever going to win the war if your opposition controls how your soldiers move. So you guys are being played, and I refuse to play with you. And as a victim of police brutality, I would still like to say that all cops are not bad. You know what I'm saying? Every single time that I've been ran into cops, it was not always, you know, a brutal outcome. You know, I didn't always get pepper sprayed, you know what I'm saying? And I really only got pepper sprayed that time because I was dealing with someone that was fearful and full of emotions that were misplaced, you know what I'm saying? That he didn't really understand what to do with those emotions, you know what I'm saying? So as a result, I got all the pepper spray in my eyes. Shout out to my eyes. I'm glad you guys still work. But not again, you know what I'm saying? And now I know better. So just don't be extreme, you know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up in these extreme, oh, all these people are bad and they don't like us and they don't love us. Like, all that is irrelevant, you know what I'm saying? As long as you look in the mirror and you like what it is that you see and you like what it is that you do with your life, then, you know what I'm saying, you continue to do it. If you don't like it, then, repurpose, because that's what I'm noticing with a lot of these Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, Cop Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, all that crap. It's really just a bunch of people saying that they don't feel like they matter. Like they don't have any self-worth or any self-value. So now they're trying to force it upon the rest of us so that we can say, yeah, you guys are right. Black Lives Matter. You got that right. Like what? How do you guys matter? Like what are you doing that matters? You know what I'm saying? What are all of these lives doing that matters? Because if they're doing something that matters, then they never have to say that they matter. You see what I'm saying? So I'll never be the person out here talking about I matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to prove it to myself that I matter to myself, and I don't care if I matter to you guys or not. You see what I'm saying? But I think whenever you don't really add anything to society and you realize that you are wasting a lot of your potential, then you wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You would not. So, yeah, at the end of the day, like, what matters is what you are going to leave behind for your progeny. You know what I'm saying? What matters is what you are going to leave behind for those that come after you. So our ancestors, they left a lot behind for us, and we are not utilizing it adequately. And I think that we really need to turn the finger back on ourselves, and instead of pointing it at the government and the powers that be and the cops and everybody else, we need to point it back at ourselves and say, wait a minute, we have more power to do more things here, but it's been misappropriated. So in order to really make our lives matter, let's go ahead and make a difference by first and foremost not falling for bullshit agendas or bullshit narratives, and secondly, more importantly, just valuing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? When you have self-value, then it doesn't matter who thinks you matter. Mind over matter. You see what I'm saying? Okay, but yeah, I'm definitely rambling. But the purpose of this video was just to let you guys know that all cops aren't bad, all civilians aren't bad, and that they're basically up in the ante. So we're about to see a lot more black women get killed in the news. We're about to start seeing these kids get killed in the news more. We don't really know if they're actually getting killed. If like I know, we do have crisis actors out here, and we do have a lot of false flags that do go down in the media. One of the main reasons that I've never liked TV, just because I felt like they were obviously trying to sell me an agenda, and I hate auto-suggestion. So I've never been a fan of TV myself, but I think it's necessary that we just take a moment, before you get on Facebook and you're all like, I can't believe these cops did this because Korryn was the best woman in the world. Just stop and think about this. You don't know that woman, and you don't know what the fuck she's doing. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe they did this to Mike Brown and Tamir Rice and Troy Davis. You know what I'm saying? But you guys forgot about all those people. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're on to the next tragedy. So it's called disaster capitalism. They're always going to make a disaster and then capitalize off the disaster. But if you guys keep allowing them to capitalize off the disasters, then it's just showing that you are addicted to the abuse. You know what I'm saying? You guys are addicted to the drama. And I would like to respectfully opt out. I, CharMajesti, am not participating.